Okay, so I'm here to talk about where Vanish came from. I'd like to say that at one point I was an operator for some crazy unit in the military, and I came up with this when I was deployed to Iraq or Afghanistan, but that's not true. Just a normal guy, and while I may be normal, I do kind of have a story around mass shootings that has prompted me to move into the direction of manufacturing the Vanish holster and making it available for people like myself. So part of that story is that at one point I lived just a few miles away from Columbine, and my wife actually worked about a block away from Columbine. So I would see the high school all the time when we lived in Denver, and that was always something that weighed heavy on me, knowing what happened there. And I get it. It's a school, kids can't conceal carry, but the idea of being able to protect yourself in situations was something that impacted me whenever I saw that school. And then on top of that, there was 2 times in my life where I was pretty close to a mass shooting. And by close, I mean by proximity. It's not like I was in the same building, but within a few blocks, if not a few miles, when it actually happened. The first one was in Trolley Square in Salt Lake City, Utah. That's where I went to school. And my buddy actually worked in Trolley Square, which was a mall. He was a bartender at the brewery there, so we were there all the time. And one evening, some psychopath went there and ended up shooting 4 or 5 people. Don't remember off the top of my head. And the only reason that he was stopped is because there was an off-duty police officer there who managed to neutralize him because he had his service weapon. So I remember thinking to myself, man, we could have been there. Like the odds that we would have been were high enough that it struck me that I didn't know when my time would come and would I be ready if something had happened. The next time something like that happened was in Denver in 2012. So I'm sure anybody watching this remembers the Aurora movie theater shooting, and it was at that day that I was actually in Aurora. I lived in downtown Denver, but I was in Aurora with my church doing a service project. And when we left that evening, I remember seeing all of the fire trucks, the ambulances, and the cop cars and not really knowing what was going on. And when I got back home, I'm getting on Facebook and I see exactly what had transpired. And I was shocked. I mean, it's not like I went to that theater all the time, but there I was just a little bit over a mile away when something like that happened. And I remember thinking, well, it's a really good reason to be armed. And I never did anything about it, though. Like, I didn't start carrying, even though I had those thoughts. I didn't start carrying, even though I was able to carry legally in both Denver and Utah. And I had even taken a 4-day defensive handgun training course at Front Sight in Nevada, and I still didn't carry, even though I'd had the training. The reason for that, honestly, is pretty lame. I didn't want to change my lifestyle to carry. I didn't want to have to dress differently. I didn't want to have to do anything differently when it came to wearing a weapon and having a holster. And I discovered that that's actually a pretty big reason that a lot of people don't carry. It's not the main reason, but we realized that there is a gap in the market when it comes to holsters. Holsters are typically not designed around comfort. They're designed around other features, which are important. I'm not going to say they're not. But when it comes down to if you're going to carry or not, and comfort is that deciding factor, well, there weren't a lot of holsters that were made for comfort that actually were able to incorporate a bunch of other important qualities that higher end holsters have. And so we made the Vanish holster with the feedback of some people who we had worked with in the past to exceed at comfort and also do a lot of the other things that you see other holsters able to, or doing. I know that, it's not the same kind of holster that you're going to get from some of these other brands that are meant for people who, in LEO specifically, or meant to go to the range with. They have their limitations, or this holster has its limitations, but we decided, whatever, let's just go ahead and make a premium holster that focuses exclusively on comfort as the number one thing, and then everything else that we design into the holster should absolutely perform, but it doesn't have to be at the same caliber as some of our competitors. And now I'm able to carry. I'm able to carry whatever I'm wearing. Any of the ads that you see, we talk about the bathing suit, the birthday suit, the business suit. Whatever you're wearing, the Vanish holster is going to work with. And we're going to continue to innovate with comfort being the primary focus of the Vanish holster and the Vanish brand. That's kind of the thing, is like we should be meeting the customer. This is my theory, is like we should be meeting the customer where they are when they've decided concealed carry, not my game, because of this being comfort. This being the thing that is preventing me from carrying, is like I just can't wrap my head around having to change anything. And the Vanish holster really does work well at allowing people to carry all day long without having to change too much. I mean, of course, they need to know how to shoot. They need to know how to handle a weapon safely. I know all of that stuff. But if you're just going to jot down to the grocery store, you're probably not going to want to have to change out of your swim trunks or whatever if you decide that you are just going to leave the house for a quick second. And if you want to be armed, then what are you going to do? You're going to be forced to change unless there's a product there that meets your needs for just quickly being able to go in whatever attire you're wearing and do so comfortably. And that's something that we're really passionate about, all of us here. It's one of those things where the ethos behind Vanish is comfort over almost everything. Now, we're not going to make a cheap, crappy holster that's comfortable, because we want to make sure that the holster that we're making is able to serve our customer for years and years. I mean, it's not a money grab. People don't understand how expensive it is for us to advertise on these channels. And, it's just the sad fact that these channels or these platforms are discriminatory against us. But whatever, we're not going to complain about it. I just want people to understand that, like, the backstory here is that we're going to do everything that we can in order to make sure that you carry and that you're carrying comfortably, that you don't have an excuse as to why your weapon's not with you. So I think that that's going to address some of these questions about who we are, where we came from. Again, it's not some crazy backstory, just regular people knowing that there's other regular people out there who don't carry for the same reasons that we didn't or that I didn't. And I hope that everybody who uses a Vanish product loves it. At the end of the day, I want you to love it. I want you to use it.